That is our only way. Well, that's kind of par for the course. Just let me know when you're...
No need to be shy. Right there, good.
Okay.
Are you alone?
I am with,
You know what I'm saying is that no one should go behind you.
well, you want to join in with me and Brian?
Yeah, we want to go behind you.
You ready?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Sherry, and I decided to create this event today, not only for myself, but for all of you. In creating my event, Melanie Poirier noticed it and then tagged Julie LeBreton-Legier, who runs a Facebook page, New Brunswickers Urge for Healthcare Improvements. She contacted me and we joined together over this healthcare issue. Every time I open up social media, I noticed hospital ER departments were being closed, such as Sackville and Sussex. I also noticed Horizon and Vitality Healthcare were asking people not to go to the emergency department unless it was an extreme emergency. I do understand that the ER should not be visited for a flu or cold, but there are some things that an after-hours clinic cannot handle, such as broken bones or young babies, just to name a few. eVisit New Brunswick has reduced their hours, and try calling an after-hours clinic. They book up in record time. And 811, 9 times out of 10 that I've called them, I've been referred to the ER. With people moving to our province that don't have access to a family doctor, what more do they expect from people of this province? No one should be afraid of calling 911 if an ambulance will arrive on time, or if one would be available at all. I know firsthand how important it is in the case of cardiac arrest. Patient heart stops beating, no pulse. To get an ambulance there, or the patient will die. I've been told by Cecile Casista, who is the Executive Director for the Coalition for Seniors, that there are currently 277 beds in nursing homes across this province that are not filled due to staffing issues. Mr. Premier, this needs to be resolved immediately. By getting staff in these homes, you will get seniors waiting to go into a home out of the hospital, which will free up beds, which will also alleviate and help the better offloading of ambulances. No one should have to die waiting to be seen in an ER department. We have 3 deaths so far. Or like Mary Lou Beckett, who waited 26 hours at the Dr. Everett Chalmers Hospital when they found a mass in her uterus and was sent home to see a specialist in Moncton, only to die at home. We've all heard that nasty word, privatization, floating around. Mr. Higgs mentioned it in his Premier's meeting this week. He has also been quoted saying, things are going to look different, but he never elaborated on how. You might want to ponder this before thinking privatization is or would be a good thing. Insurance companies can drop you for no reason and put limits on the amount they will pay. They can also refuse to pay if it's what they consider a pre-existing condition. That's a downfall of privatization. Privatization of healthcare would become like the U.S., profit-driven, with citizens losing everything if and when they become hospitalized for illness or an accident. Rick Brees, who is a member of Provincial Parliament of Ontario, he's a PC, recently spoke in the Legislative Assembly of Ontario about how his daughter had a rare form of leukemia. He decided to investigate to see how much that same care would have cost him in the US. $1.2 million. He said, I don't have that kind of money. I can't remortgage my house. And he said he will always support universal health care. So again, ask yourself when the government has ever given us something for nothing. Never. Offer doctors and nurses incentives to come to work in this province, either by paying their licensing fees or help with tuition costs, with an agreement that they stay in our province for a certain number of years. Offer bonuses to help retain our health care workers. Fast-track foreign doctors and nurses that are currently in our province to get them working, like in Nova Scotia. In closing, Mr. Premier, it's been said that our province has recently hired a huge number of nurses. I ask you, Mr. Premier, where are they?